government wants to ruin what he has, sacrificed to maintain. So you cannot have a Cyrus Gray, Representative Gray, engaging in such. And I saw the post from him that he said, this he made mention that I'm going to have the voter, I don't know, the voter registration or something like that. The awareness will be at the UL campus, and he said that. So I think for me, now you are saying that perhaps there should be protection because you don't want to be attacked. But your action was the reason why, now people will see you as a threat. So my opinion on this issue, like we said, is not good. And we hope that, those who are in charge can speak up to that as it relates to that. That's my opinion.
That's it. And so, by the way, there are senators who've spoken against this on Tuesday in section. The senators were very angered by the action of Representative Gray and Yeke Koluba, and we are making specific reference to Representative Gray because his party is seeking re-election.
Sure.
I mean, Yeke Koluba has nothing much to lose when it comes to this issue. His party is seeking re-election. I mean, he's in District 8. He's struggling to be re-elected as well. And I mean, I don't understand the way public officials conduct themselves. I mean, you are a representation of the entire country, and a lot of people look up to you. Your action will actually serve as the direction for other people. Let's take Moses Carter on the line now. Moses, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Breeze.
Thank you so much, Fidel. Pleasure.
Okay. Tell us exactly. Just a few days ago, several individuals were rounded up by the Liberia National Police, and we've been told they've been released by the LNP. What are the circumstances surrounding their release?
So on a day before yesterday, specifically on Tuesday, we had 6 persons in our custody believed to be students of the University of Liberia who were arrested by our officers at the outside of the university campus.
Okay.
Capitol Hill campus. And so those persons arrested, 6 of them, like I said, 2 were earlier released on the basis of requests from their lawyers on medical grounds that they needed to do treatment. And since the fact that we are not a medical institution, we thought to ensure that we give them the benefit of the doubt to take their clients, for medical treatment. And why investigation is continuing. Subsequently, we thought to also release the other 4 persons so that all of them, can be temporarily released while our investigators are gathering all of the necessary evidence. And when the need arises, their lawyers will bring them back at the headquarters of the police for further investigation.
Okay. So I guess you've been able to extract pieces of information from them in terms of their role in the UL incident. Why haven't you been able to establish the full identities of these individuals? Because I heard you say believed to be students of the Student Unification Party.
And I says believed to be students of the University of Liberia. That's what I said.
So why haven't you established their full identity?
Well, again, establishing a full identity comes with a process. It's not an event. That means you have to go to the university to be able to get the ID numbers, verify the ID numbers and all of that.
Okay, and you've not been able to do that?
Absolutely. We, in the interval of the arrest being made in the late evening hour of Tuesday, not Tuesday, but
Wednesday.
Monday, and then even Monday, and Tuesday to the time of their release. So like I said, it's an ongoing investigation. That's what I can say to you.
So what can we say about the investigation? How far are we now?
The investigation is sailing through because we seek to establish facts, circumstances under which, as a matter of fact, I'd like to also inform you that 5 of our officers sustained injuries as well. And our, ERU marked police vehicle was also affected in the process. The front windshield of the vehicle was damaged. And so it's an ongoing investigation. Certainly, we hope to establish the fact and report to the public on the facts.
Now, there's a video that was trending, that's trending on social media, Facebook to be specific, of a police vehicle on one of those that were out there. What's the health condition of this guy?
I think it's Porja. He's one Porja.
Okay.
Porja was the one who raised the alarm, which subsequently led to the attack on the police by those students who were in the full front of the University of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
So Porja and that of another person, those were the 2 persons released on medical grounds because their lawyers claimed that they needed to go to medical,
mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. So we thought to release them on those grounds because, again, like I said, we are not a medical institution. And so it's important that if a lawyer comes and say, hey, my client, is not mentally or medically, upright, and we would love our client to go to seek medical attention, it's the most befitting thing to do. And that's what we did.
Okay, Moses. Thank you so much. Yeah. And we hope to get updates from you regarding this situation in the
You're most welcome.
Okay, thank you. All right, he's Moses Carter, the spokesman of the Liberia National Police. So let's conclude on this and get to that to the president's
we have to take some calls.
Yeah, we'll get to the calls. Let's exhaust that first. But on this Akara's Gray issue,
mm-hmm.
All right, I believe that his action is a dagger placed in the quest of the CDC for re-election, and his action should not be taken lightly by the CDC. All right, I know he's a stalwart, top-notch member of the CDC,
mm-hmm.
but I think the silence of the CDC even speaks to the fact that they do not agree with his action. All right, that his action was counterproductive, that it was against the interest and the ideals of CDC, and that they should be scolding him. By the way, he should not be left off the hook. They should be scolding him. I mean, through their party internal, disciplinary measures should be taken against Akara's Gray. Look, listen, the decency that we want in our democracy cannot be harnessed when certain people are left off the hook because they have this quote-unquote title. They must be dealt with. And I hope CDC will stand up and do something about this and do not allow Representative Akara's Gray to be, to be left off the hook. He is a member of the party and he should live within the confines of the ideals of the party. So I believe this is against you. If you're not believing that it there, but you're going for re-election, then you get one of your B party men going and disturbing all around and causing trouble and people hurting and all. You're not seeing it as anything. I don't know why I don't see it as anything, but I know your silence means you are concerned about this. All right, 0777 105 100, 0555 105 100, 0777 105 100 are the numbers to call to be a part of the program this morning. We believe the action of Representative Akara's Gray is against CDC. It is a negative to CDC. It drives away voters and those who are sitting on the fence, undecided voters, like we call them, that the one that will determine election. So you'll be there. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel.
Good morning, my brother.
My name is Bawando. I call from the Nigerian shop.
Okay, let's hear you.
Fidel, for me, I'm not a citizen. I'm a member of the ANC.
Mm-hmm.
But Fidel, to be honest with you, right? Even though I condemn what Akara's did because he went there with a motive, I condemn that. But the students of the Liberia should conduct themselves in a way that they will not be afraid to go to campus.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
You cannot be a student and issue somebody personal grata. Can you imagine? The student issue of a doubts the law personal grata before. And I think it's scary because as an institution or as a student groupie, you can critique the government through press releases, radio station, and discuss the issue. But by telling people that you cannot go to the campus only because you're not in line with them, I think it's wrong. It's been happening for the past 130 years. So I agree with condemn Askar Gray. What he did was wrong, and and the police too was not timely in the intervention. But the students should also be conscious of the fact that indeed that cover is for everybody. So people have the right to go there and do what they want to do.
Okay,
so
my brother. All right.
So let's stop to that. Thank you for the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning. Now we are looking at this from the perspective of the effect his action has. Okay, let's hear you. By the way, I'm told the CDC View League has issued a statement. Hello?
I think hello.
Okay. I think
okay,
go ahead.
The CDC had no right to issue any statement. What the student doing is kind of protected, and you got in studio as a journalist, you want to condemn them. You guys
hello.
So we have condemned.
We've condemned.
You not condemn me.
You see that? Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
We condemn what the students did. Like we said, the University of Liberia campus is not for that. But we are looking at him as a lawmaker and a stalwart of the ruling establishment that is seeking re-election. That's why we are saying.
But you now emphasizing. I listen to you from start to end. You not emphasizing.
So we spoke about that the last time, just a few days ago.
Matilda, you had a platform. You were speaking. You will not be a girl listening. Let's not be in the art. No, the student when you were in school, when you never left
hello. Understand what we are saying this morning.
We have a point of discussion.
We are not discussing students. We spoke about the students. We condemn them vehemently. We did so for Representative Yeke Koluba. We did so for Akaras Gray. What we are looking at this morning is the repercussion of Akaras Gray's action to the re-election of the president. That is our focus this morning. And what?
Why I think I didn't have no reputation. I didn't ever put the mistake what we're doing in the party. I got to do something differently for the student, and we will say, yeah, we'll pop problem. But you cannot have student testing government official. You're not a politician. We are not a political party in the country. If they disagree with issue with government official, I didn't issue statement.
Okay.
But not a student which will be in classroom.
Okay. Thank you very much. He still doesn't understand the point we are making.
Yeah.
Good morning.
And not to be chasing government official here and there.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning. Okay. Okay. So just for clarity, Denise, let's make this clarity for others who listening to him. I mean, also unsuspecting victims of his deliberation, not to get confused.
Yeah.
Now, we've condemned the students on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
We were here. We took over an hour condemning the action of all of the parties involved in the UL saga. We're very clear. Now, our focus this morning is on the action of Representative Akaras Gray as a stalwart of the CDC and what his action as a stalwart causes the party while we are going to elections. That is our focus this morning. That his action was wrong. It drives away voters.
Yeah,
potential voters.
Yeah.
All right. Those who are sitting on the fence. You know how many persons sitting on the fence? They don't know where to go. But the action of individual members of different political parties will push their drive to support those parties or not. And that is our focus this morning. And I hope others understand. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the answer of Akaras Gray. First of all, I got key information that he paid people, guys from the Kerry Street and around town, 200,000 to go disturb the University of Liberia campus. And I got key information from one of those guys on Kerry Street saying, oh, yesterday. So I was surprised to hear that. Yeah, really, I don't participate in politics. But for real, Akaras Gray, he planned to do that.
Okay.
To pay people and go disturb, the campus.
Well, he has driven people away from the CDC, and it is a blow to the re-election of President George Weah. Apparently, he doesn't understand that. And that is what we are trying to unearth this morning, that his action has an adverse effect on the CDC as a party. I'm told the Youth League has released a statement.
Okay.
And they've condemned Representative Yeke Koluba. They've seen him as the one who took toss and that led to the injury of people on the campus of the university and the destruction of properties. I mean, that's it. That's what they say. They say they are mainly responsible. Akaras Gray responsible for anything. That only, Representative Yeke Koluba, you'll be making fun. Good morning.
Good morning, Breach.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, I listened to you in my bedroom crystal clear when you said Akaras Gray is in error, and then take responsibility of what he did. One of the things we need to understand in this country here is that district number 8, fall under the purview of Akara Gray. He is the representation of that district.
Good.
That is full right to move in that, to go at the university and make it clear. He makes it clear that I'm going to have dinner and also on the voter education stuff. And that is responsibility because he is the head of that district. But to say that while he went there, he
didn't go there for voter registration.
The hooliganism of some of those students on the campus is very disappointing.
So
remember,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
All those guys, how they call it, Serena Sifa were chased from over there. You guys always in the behavior of chasing.
We have condemned that
over there. It's not called for.
So let me ask. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
I'm taking it back at your statement.
Can I ask you a question?
He's not in error. He is the representation of that district. If he doesn't go there, tell me, even he advocated for everyone.
So if a crazy man take your claw from the bathroom door, will you run behind him?
No, that is a different scenario you bring.
No, that's not a different scenario. Let me ask you this question.
I only understand. I listen to ABC radio, in which I like your show. But to say this morning,
hello,
which I'm disappointed to say, a current grade is in error by going there, and he is the representation of that district.
Can I ask you a question?
Go there and what he want to do, and let him do it the way it's supposed to be, and that's what he did.
Okay.
Is it wrong?
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
With what happened? Did you follow the events that led to his opting to go on the campus, his visit to the campus? Did you follow those events?
What I was told was that
no. You were told.
He said what I follow the events, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What I follow the event of what
that led him to go to the campus.
That led him to go to the campus. Did you follow the events?
Absolutely, of course, yes. I followed them.
Of course, if you follow the events in your mind, out of right judgment, if you were in Representative Gray's position, would you have gone to the campus with all of the events that characterize his, and in fact, his desire to go there? Will you have gone there?
What characterized his desire to go there? What was the character? What was the character that you saying that you know that you're not telling us that we don't know?
Okay, I think I've given you an opportunity. Thank you so much, my brother, and thanks for
calling.
Thank you
so much too.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Fidel and Sis Denise.
Good morning, my brother.
David E. Harris, now call from Benson Street.
Welcome to the program.
And Fidel, I just want to register something this morning. Something is eating up our country. I think we have to desist from it. Most often, when hurricane from the CDC do something wrong, CDC will always come in their defense. When folks from the hurricane from the Unity Party does something wrong, folks from the Unity Party will always come in their defense. I think it is wrong. Let us forget about party politics and put our country forward. What Honorable Gray did it one time, it was not right. It was wrong. We're not in the interest of any Liberian, neither the CDC political party. So we are calling on Liberians to desist from this. Thank you for your platform.
Thank you very much. Let's take more calls. 077 0777 105 100 and 0555 105 100. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Doc.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, good morning, sis. How are you this morning?
We fine.
My name is Brother Frank Jowley Lewis. I call from Arrest this morning, the big president, Jacobstown, district number 2.
Let's hear you.
I want to ask you guys a question because this ABC radio are one of the radio stations I like to follow in the morning. If the president is going to the university campus, it is funny that he called the student council president to tell him that I'm going on the campus. And secondly, if a parent going to the campus to check on his or her student, whether she actually go to class, she has to call the student council president. The reason I'm saying this, I don't know what actually you guys are insinuating this morning. Because if you look at Scatter Gray, he's a representative for district number 8. And district number 8, the University of Liberia, fall within district number 8. If he say he's going on the campus to have lunch, it is banning that the student council president to come out to tell the honorable mayor that you don't come on the campus because you don't want no disturbance. Say when you come on the campus, there will be no class, there will be disrupt. People will disrupt and lead classes to come. But brother, you see the problem here. You guys said something.
Hello. The man from go in breeze mood. We didn't cut you off when in breeze mood. But again,
Yes.
Denise, please help me to say the thing that we're really talking in the morning so people can understand.
Fidel, the issue is, you know, there will always be such, you know, whenever the discussion is not in
the interest of
you know, there will always be such.
yeah,
So,
because I don't
so we should
understand.
expect that. We're talking about the motive, you know, and the implications on the ruling establishment as we go to what election. And we say in election time that when the people say play fool to why give wisdom. So
let me ask my man. So what is Sub lost here?
nothing.
Sumi lost nothing. That who lost nothing. That great. So that just a rationale. But again, people got way to protect their people.
Yeah,
Morning.
Go to the line.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually I'm phoning in from Cape Mount, Blama to be Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just follow your show this morning, and let me say thank you for the platform. You see the issue that occur on the main campuses of the university. I think the world condemning from every angle, and more precise, at the verge of going to elections. What we will grade this was not a good fit. More precise, being a staunch member of the ruling establishment. I don't want people to brag on this, praise, and we will grade for his action. Those students are in the wrong, they are in the wrong, but more the greater responsibility is I cannot agree. They are fine. And what precise, most of the men calling and the vast. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the UL faculty. Now they are saying they don't have security right now, so they will not go to classes until they get security. Okay, what happened is going down. He pushed it. He's saying he's going to do the registration there. So actually, what you want to see happening. So I think we all need to come together and contend the kind of art. Thank you for your show.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. I think you've seen it from what we're speaking.
Yeah.
So my question to all the people that back agree. Waiting soup, what in the loss?
Nothing.
Nothing. But who lost something? That agree?
Of course.
It has made him unpopular. He has made CDC unpopular by his action. And there's no sugarcoating about this. And I don't know why people do not see this as it is. Let's take another person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
This is Pastor Kekula calling from Woodlands Farm, FBA.
Okay. Let's hear
actually, this is my first time calling on the show.
Okay.
But the way in which people address issues in Liberia make us to call on some of the show. The issue about going on university campus. Akara Gray was warned not to go on the campus. And he's a clergyman. He's supposed to understand that when he gets there, anything that occurs, it will really reflect on him and the party.
That's the point we make.
So the best thing he's supposed to do was to step back and organize another best thing to do. And the government too, they are completely silent. Why they are silent? Isn't that they discuss this? Is it that it was agreed upon go there in this province? Because I'm a student of a university. I graduated from there. I know what it takes. When students tell you don't come here, just stay back to allow the government to move forward. Because there are a lot of things that are happening and people are feeling bad about it.
Yeah.
So stay back as a representative, you understand how things is going and election coming. But court in this province, it has made a lot of us to just be frustrated.
And that's the point
I'm a pastor, I'm frustrated. I just don't know where to start from.
Okay. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Okay. All right. So I mean, a lot of people are getting to understand what we're talking about.
There will always be those issues.
Yeah. But, I mean, you don't want vote. Now you want vote from the people. Nobody want vote from soup. Nobody want vote from soup. Nobody. So again, nobody votes. So you want votes so that your action that it will looking at the money, how it take, so it will take votes from CDC.
And as we go towards the the electionary period, there will be many of these where people will come out, you will know, sometimes with provocation and all of that. but the way in which you conduct yourself
Yeah.
will determine how, you know, people will look at you. So they should expect this. It's not everyone, like I asked the other guy, if you, like we always say in Liberia, if you are in the bathroom and a crazy man come and take the cloth from the door, like they say, will you jump from the bathroom
And
too? No, you
go
won't. Meaning you will engage yourself, you know, in a way that you are better than that person that is doing that. 0-555-105-100 0-777-105-100. Let's hear you on the Morning Breeze.
This person. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, my brother, and good morning to Danny Nielsen.
Good morning.
My name is Eric Peter Jr. and I join you from Banana Jarvis podcast. Brother, let me say this to you. Problem may be the people you're talking about, people in CDC, you now know them. You're talking about tarnishing the government image, and the people calling you defending what grade 8. And let me say this to you, brother. The government not get image. Anybody who get good image, you will always try to protect it. But if people not get, they not even get the one they call image before you say the correct one.
The government has image. It is individuals in government who do not have image, and they are tarnishing the image of the government. And that's why we must weed these people out. And Representative Gray is one of those individuals.
Okay, I'm coming now. Hey, wait, you're saying that the tarnishing the image of the government. And I'm saying to you that the government don't have image. Maybe for you, you say that the government got image, but for me, they not get image because anybody who get correct image, you always try to protect it. But people saying that because Gray went at UL campus, so meaning you can go back because UL is Gray district, so you can go back not supposed to go there. And they see people telling you say nobody need any permission to say you go on UL campus, and then. So they see people will tell you say because I got great history, so great Uber in order for you to go there, but in order for you get go back to go there because you get go back, they made a foreign, so you not get right to go there. That is simple. They're telling you that thing again. And then start from even any get capital here or I mean any get capital in great history. You think Uber they think Uber great. That's why a public Sunday water for everybody. And as much that university in District 8. Even you, my brother, maybe you get your house. You will build your house. The house belongs to you, but when someone is renting in your house, when you come, you will not just enter that house. You have to seek permission from that person first to enter in that house.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
For the people, yeah. Then let me just know there. I beg you. Okay. So you see. Let me say this to you. The people that are noted for that whole thing, the people that it was conspired by the entire government because what they try to do, they try to prevent because they see that it will happen to Georgia tomorrow.
Okay, so that conspiracy theory there.
Speak to that.
We don't delve in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Joshua we're recording from Satan.
My brother.
You know, most of the things that happen in the country, people do not take into considerations, you know, the effect, even apart from government being affected. I had guests coming to the country to see the project. I have been convincing that man, he came from Turkey, he stopped to the other guy in South Africa. I have been convincing him to come down to Liberia. I'm doing some business research for him to come see the ground. That man able to see the video they content and told me, Joshua, I can come now, your country is not safe. I have been convincing him. He said he doesn't want to come after the election. I have been convincing him, he agree everything to come. The moment he saw that video from Askai and the other guy, he was both to tell me, Joshua, I will remain in South Africa and go back to Turkey. I cannot come. You know, some of the things people don't realize, why are you fighting students? They are all kids. And then, like before, when we were at the University of Liberia, where you have men in Sub, you have men. All these kids are just kids. And these are the same thing here as Calgary pass through. You see, two wrongs cannot make right.
Sure.
If we continue running this country today, I don't know where are we going. What is the future of this country?
And that's why we should speak to that with our fear.
I don't know what is the future of this country.
All right, my brother. Thank you. It's Karen, and we think leaders should be those who are good, exemplify good behavior, good judgment, and what have you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they kind of just left the air.
Oh.
It was yesterday, you know.
Just call your name for call your name for.
Yeah, my name, Brother Frank Jowley Lewis. I was on the air when I left the line.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see the print and the electronic media. You guys are not doing well for us.
Okay.
Once you guys are not doing well for us, when something is real, let's be honest. That's about the situation the government is undergoing. Today, it could be you guys in ABC studio. Tomorrow, it could be somebody from 2FM. Today, it could be somebody from EFBC. You guys could be minister, or one of you people could be a deputy minister. What I'm saying is, what Ascada Great did on the university campus, it has nothing to do with somebody blaming James, somebody blaming Esther or Ruth. And you understand? The man is the current lawmaker of district number 8. Get it clear. And you understand? He's the lawmaker of district number 8. You don't need to ask before going on a university campus. You don't need to write there or text them. And you understand? Or do a video call.
So we're not saying that did you follow what led to Representative Kairos Gray going to the UL campus?
Because when the man was going there, they said the man will not enter the campus. That was making peace up.
No, he went at the campus because some officials of the government was attacked.
What I interviewed with the Secretary General of the Student Council President. He said Mr. Gray will not enter the campus. If Mr. Gray enter the campus the next day in the morning, they will have to go to the campus building to have lunch with Mr. Gray. It's misleading.
So I mean, let me take your narration as a fixed value. Are you saying to me, if let's say an illegitimate power, we call them, that's how you consider them now, from soup. If you encountered an illegitimate power and you were to go somewhere and that person say, if you can't here, we're for today, will you still go there? You as a community chairman, if one youth group in your community say, if you can't on the side to the that small wall will be there, will you as a community leader, will you go there?
I'll go there.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for calling in this morning. 0777 105 100 0555 105 100. The calls are coming in. Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Getting you? I'm Jonathan Harris calling from Canada City.
Okay.
Let's hear you, Jonathan.
Well, thank you very much for your platform you have brought to us this morning.
Before you go ahead, sorry, which means are you listening to us through? What medium are you using?
What media?
Yeah. Radio,
yeah, radio.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. That thing that happened on the UL campus, Akara Gray succeeded. Biologically, he succeeded. But politically, he will not succeed in that district. This point is that those that say that his district, who want to vote for the people in that district? And the people set in that district, the other one want to vote for the people in that district.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Let's take another person. Good morning. Sorry, I missed Anna. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. You're loud and
clear. How you doing?
We okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling. My name is Orlando. I'm calling from the United States, New Jersey.
Okay.
Resides. I love your topic this morning. I just wanted to give him my little bit of idea that the experience that I have on the schools out here, university. One thing in Liberia that I noticed is we encourage things to happen, and the bad ones are the one we encourage. There's nowhere in the world on the school campus a student will ask anybody not to enter the campus. Nowhere in the world, only in Liberia. Only in Liberia. So if you guys that sitting on the radio talk show, we encourage a lot of evil things in our country. It's wrong. What kind of business is that?
So we
saying that student will tell you not to enter a campus.
So we are not hello, please.
Yeah.
So we are not saying that the student action by preventing the lawmaker to have gone at the University of Liberia campus is right. We are saying, as the lawmaker, knowing that the students were behaving deviant, he could have worked with the University of Liberia administration, to call them to order instead of saying he's going to have lunch, which of course, is a provocation. And by his going there on the campus, that led to confusion and what we saw that day. So that implication reflects the ruling establishment. That's what we are talking about.
Okay, let me say something to you. Nothing reflects the ruling establishment. Let me tell you something. It will always encourage evil. It will always happen. If you guys can come up all the radio stations within Liberia, condemn the students.
We did that.
They're always committing chaos on our campus. It will stop. But if we encourage them to say they are right, no, there's nowhere in the world. No.
So who said they are right? Who did you listen to say they are right?
No. I didn't say you guys say
but if
right.
you say you just said if you continue.
Some of your call-ups, I'm listening to some of your call-ups.
They are not saying they are right.
They are right for stopping people.
No, nobody said that here. We will not even agree with them. Nobody said that here.
All right.
Yeah.
So let us learn to discourage this kind of attitude.
Okay.
All right. Because the military has the campus. Where in the world you will see students wearing military clothes going on campus, and every time they cannot go into classroom, they just go on a Panama house. What's problem all the time?
So just a bit of information. The same people that we revere as leaders now, those same people were wearing the same khaki these students are wearing today.
It was wrong by them. Listen, brother, it was wrong by them. It's still wrong at this time.
So what needs to happen?
We need to do is to discourage it.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, he's calling there from the US. Again, let's say I'll keep repeating myself, and for the sake of someone who may just be tuning in, that we do not indulge the behavior of soup.
Exactly.
We don't. In fact, we criticize them on Tuesday. We don't. What we are saying is the implication of Representative Gray's action on CDC party. And now that we are in election, every vote is needed. Some votes will be lost. And that is what we are speaking of this morning. Let's take this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Sewen, calling from here today, and I'm watching live on Facebook this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, concerning about the question that was posed, if I'm a community chair and there's a situation somewhere, community dwellers say that if I go there, there'll be a bloodshed. The first place is that I got to use my former at the other day. That is a better negotiation than the CKO inform. But the case about Calgary, he sees that he is in power. So then he's going against the struggle of the peaceful citizens of the universe, like BBS Tulane, standing themselves and die. Can you imagine those guys who went to a money at Calgary? They are my police. We all can treat together in the same team. He went to this guy, he gave it $80 US. So tomorrow Friday,
we cannot confirm that. So we cannot take that on the platform.
That is, I want to shoot. I want to shoot that. But the matter of fact is that some of this action here district, that is his place. First of all, that is his district. He has control over that school. If it's so, he was threat. Or other official was threatening into the system. There is a way that you want to communicate.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? I listen to everyone say he has control over the campus. Do you know there were times that a student, advocated that they lack materials at the campus and essential learning environment? Did the representative visit the area to advocate for them in terms of that, saying he has right to that area at any time?
Yeah, that is true, but if the condition of the campus is not conducive for students, there will be a reactionary tendency that we carry on by them to respond to some of these things. Even if you look at even how they know, you see logo zoom. You cannot hear on that campus because I'm telling you in here. This stage.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Let's recognize those viewing us this morning. Dennis, just do that for us quickly, and then we can take our break. When we come back, we jump into something else.
Okay, we have Chris Dafe Tokpa falling from Bapolu City. Augustine S. Bobo, good morning. I'm monitoring live info at District Lofa County. Thanks for the show. Okay, we have Ishmael and Rachel as well watching. We have Elton TS watching. Mountain Tiaguba Meno. Akara's Grace should have known better. His government stand to lose everything. When Madam Salif was booed and stopped from entering the university campus, he didn't assert power or force because her government, I think he meant her government stand to lose. Gray at that time was in position. He didn't condemn it at the time because he was beneficiary of the students' action at the time. Okay. Caddy Jesse says, you are right. CDC bears the highest implications of Gray's irresponsible behavior at the UL. Mountain again comes in with another. We have others falling. Keep following the video. Share the video. Invite others to watch as you put through, your comments. Daniel D. Silwan said this too is Liberia. So Fidel, that's it.
Okay, keep watching, keep sharing our video. Okay, intent is to get to the widest part of the world. I mean, the farthest places. We want to reach there.
And Samuel Babajua is falling from Bon County Electoral District 3.
Okay, we are interested in knowing how you are following us, whether through the radio or you through the internet. We need to know. Let's take our break right now. When we come back, we jump into the president's decision to the mandate executive order that those who are in government and opting to contest in the October 10 elections, you should resign before April 7.
April 7 is my birthday.
Oh, if you not resign before Dennis' birthday or on Dennis' birthday, it means that you're not contesting again. That's a mandate from the president. Okay, we'll look at all the double downs on that, the pros and cons, and who stand to benefit, who are those individuals involved. But let's take this break and be right back right here from our sponsor.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have coverts for rows and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crushed rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Kerry Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777 874 231 or 0888 726 172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777 874 231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that man's swampy land. No time to waste.
My ticket is there.
Bokonjida Group of Companies, a 100% Liberian-owned company with over 20 years of experience, is the name that stands tall in the microfinance, construction, and general services industries. At Bokonjida Group of Companies, we pride on character, integrity, honesty, confidentiality, and creditworthiness. Approved institutions or entities under the microfinance service include House of Representatives, Liberian Senate, General Services Agency, Financial Intelligence Unit, and General Auditing Commission. Others include Governance Commission, Cooperative Development Agency, Ministry of Gender, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, National Public Health Institute of Liberia, National Port Authority, Group of 77, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Our construction services include the construction of residential and commercial buildings, while the general services include apartment renter, apartment for lease, apartments for short stay, general printing services, and a yard with swimming pool to host events. Bokonjida Group of Companies is located on Capitol Hill in Monrovia. For more information, call us on cell numbers 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603, or better still 0886-622-559, or email us at Bokonjida Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjida Group of Companies. Nunde.
Wanna see all my people progress.
Gifty, where did you get the bricks you used to build your house? See how strong the bricks look.
I got them from Rovia Bricks. Do not tell me you have not heard about Rovia Bricks.
You mean they are located in Liberia?
Yes, Angie. Rovia Bricks is a division of Rovia Logistics Incorporated, and they offer a variety of concrete products for all your construction needs. They have 6, 7, 8, and 4 inches blocks. That's not all.
Tell me more.
Rovia Bricks have coverts for rows and well, cornerstones, Colombo blocks, yard tiles, sand, be it smooth, rough, and mixed. They even have red dyes for land filling and crushed rocks of all sizes.
How can I get to them?
You can locate Rovia Bricks right at the corner of McDonough and Carey Streets on the Kakata Highway, Copper Farm area in Fendel, around the University of Liberia campus, or locate our head office on Randall Street. Call Rovia Bricks on 0777-874-231 or 0888-726-172. Email them on rovialib@gmail.com. Better still, WhatsApp them on 0777-874-231 or Facebook Rovia Logistics Incorporated.
I'm calling them right now for that man swampy land. No time to waste.
Man, take it easy.
I like it. I like it.
Welcome back to the biggest thing to happen to radio broadcast early in the morning across Liberia. The morning breeze. Yeah. Denise, with no time to waste, let's go to our next point. The president of Liberia has issued an executive order. Let's get to know the inside part of that executive order as issued by the president.
Okay, so as per the release from the executive mansion, I'm going to read. It says, President William mandates appointed government officials wanting to contest 2023 elections to resign on or before April 7. The president of Liberia, President George Weah, has mandated all the appointed officials of the government aspiring to contest elective positions in the pending October 10 2023 presidential and legislative elections to resign on or before April 7, 2023. The president's order contained in Executive Order 117 issued Tuesday, March 14, 2023, is consistent with amended sections 5.2 and 10.2 of the 2014 Code of Conduct enacted, approved, and printed in handbills on December 29, 2022. President Weah acknowledged that the objectives of the Code of Conduct is to disassociate the fiduciary duty of trust, integrity, and loyalty owned by public officials toward the people from their personal desires to contest elections at the expense of public resources. Reminding appointed public officials, the president's executive order states the act provides that all officials appointed by the president, including all cabinet ministers, deputy and assistant cabinet ministers, ambassadors, ministers, consuls, superintendents of counties, and other government officials, both military and civilian, appointed by the president pursuant to Article 56(8) of the 1986 Constitution, and any managing director, deputy managing director, assistant managing director of corporation owned by the government of Liberia, any commissioner or deputy and assistant commissioner of any commission established by the legislature, and any official of the government who negotiates and executes contracts, procures goods and services, and or manages assets for and on behalf of the government of Liberia, who desires to canvass or contest for an elective public office within the government of Liberia shall resign his or her post 1 year before the date of which the election for the post for which he or she intends to contest. The Liberian chief executive, however, acknowledged that with about 7 months to the conduct of elections on October 10, 2023, the amended act can prevent public officials from contesting in said elections. According to him, the government still has compelling interest to create what he calls a level playing political field to prevent Liberia's competitive politics from unfair and undue advantages. The Constitution vests the president executive power to issue executive orders in the public interest, either to meet an emergency or to correct situations that can wait the lengthy legislative process. And that's it, Fidel. That's the order, the executive order from the president of the executive action.
I know it's easy for critics of the government to state how belated this is. We are 7 months to elections. Yes. And I believe that doing it a bit early would have been okay. But doing it now is also prudent.
Yeah.
Because you cannot have people serving in positions on the day of election. You know, there's a potential for people to use their various offices to have things done in their favor.
Sure.
Now, what this executive order does is that it allows these people to leave their positions, which in my mind also creates another opportunity for others to work,
to serve.
Yeah, to serve their country. All right. And it disables them from having to use their position to influence whatever at the electioneering process. Now, I know the monies that these people have taken. The Code of Conduct stated, I mean, a bit more wider time as opposed to the 7 months that's here.
Yeah.
But we've not been going by the Code of Conduct. I don't know, for whatever reason. You know, we are very good violating laws. We are very good at that, and we don't feel bothered by that. It doesn't even prick our consciences that this thing we are doing is wrong. We seem to live by the norm, and that norm is dictated by the person who sits in the executive mansion. And it has happened years after years. I mean, successive governments. That's what we've witnessed in our country, and it has become a norm now. Now the president has issued this executive order, and I guess to the surprise of a lot of people, because we had thought that the Code of Conduct was dead, and the Constitution gives him the power to do this. So I believe that it is now time for those who are in government, who have the quest. Of course, all of them, we already know them now. People who want contest, we know them now. And they know that for sure, that we know them. You know, one of the very contesting issue in the code of conduct was how you determine desire. I mean, how say the person won't contest before you say them on resign.
Yeah, the intent.
The intent and all of that. People start playing around here, and loopholes in the laws are normally exploited by people who find a way to spin around the law. But this executive order now is straightforward. When you want contest, you want contest, you must resign on or before April 7. So it means April 8. When you want contest, the October election, April 8. If you're serving in position again, it means you now want contest again.
Sure.
Because this one, and I am hoping that this executive order will take real root. The president will do a follow-up to ensuring that what he has said is followed to the letter. Because people depend on this whole party thing. I'm from that party also. Until the president will look at me and do this to me. The party will protect me. Jeb is spinning around. You will be taking your pay. And I hope this, and I know the GAC, the LSTC, all these anti-graft institutions will have their eyes and ears open to this process. Because if we witness a situation where Mr. X is contesting and he has not resigned, he is still taking pay, but because the executive order has been issued, everybody think he will resign or not, but under the cover of darkness, he's still working and he's still taking pay. That would be a gross violation. And that person should be punished for corruption.
Sure.
That person should be punished for corruption. So we need to start looking at names, Denise. I don't know whether you know of names, people who should be resigning on or before April 7. I know about Maxwell Grisby from the Small Arms Commission. Who again? I don't know whether Josephine Davis. She falls in this. She's appointed by the president. There is a bit of confusion. With this or appointing status. Technically, she shouldn't be appointed by the president. That's another discussion. But again, people feel, they feel good whenever there's this green letter from the executive mansion and your name on it and you are on e-mansion. But I think she will be affected. The other debate will come later.
She's serving government.
She's serving government appointed by the president.
And government official, she perform attacks as it relates to that, dealing with public resources. So obviously, she's part. And like you said, there came a time that, people felt that perhaps the code of conduct was dead because we have seen government officials canvassing, leaving their posts, their public offices, and going to political activities and what have you. So it is good that, like in our Liberian way, we always say better late than never. It's a good thing that the president has come up to say that and issue Executive Order 117. And we hope and pray, like you said, the issue of monitoring and implementing. When someone says this, what follows is what matters. You have people, who should go after that to ensure that yes, indeed, the president that issued this order mandating government officials who are aspiring for elective position to resign. So there's a need that they monitor that to ensure that those who are responsible can do the needful by resigning their post. And like you talk about Josephine Davis on yesterday, I saw her leading a raid of partisans at the 540 area in terms of that voter awareness, and she was at the forefront. Definitely, we know that she has an ambition, intend to, contest in the district. So it is good that you step aside, and allow others to function, to serve. Because I tell you for one fact, even apart from being, following corruption and what, if you have an interest to do certain things, you won't be focused on the job for which you are called to do.
Exactly.
Because your focus now will be on the district. And we have seen when she came, with that zest. The zest. Inspecting, moving from place to place. I'm just using her as an example to others who as well are aspiring for similar position and that in government they won't perform to the way that people hope that they should do, because they will be focused on their own elective or quest to seek position in the house of lawmaking and what have you. So they won't be focused on their work. So it is good that the president have come up with that. And as part of that code of conduct, there's another aspect I need to look into that has to do with the regulation of financial, and budgetary flow, how people receive gifts and all of those. So we hope that now that this whole code of conduct has come into full swing, the president has announced that we hope that others are part of it as well, will be taken into consideration, that people will adhere to what was rating as or conduct for officials to be guided by. We hope to see that,
Okay, and of course, Moses Colley of the Liberia Aviation Authority, he wants to be senator in Lofa County. Alex Noah, the port manager of Sino County as well, he wants to be representative. I'm told Civicas Basigia, the port manager of Grand Bassa County, the superintendent of Grand Bassa County, Janje Bankwe.
Yes.
Also the superintendent of Grand Cape Man County as well, Aaron Vincent, he wants to be representative in that county. And schools of those working in government, there are lots of them who are aspiring to contest for positions in their various counties. So you will realize that another group of people will have to take job.
And
by
you have
the
to
way,
trust yourself. So, because if you are leaving, you are leaving your job.
You must not say you must win. If you don't win, you will enter. You will join all in the private sector. And I think what we've seen is, by the way, the executive order was actually issued because the code of conduct is rather non-existent now. All right, that's why the executive order was issued now. So we expect to see resignations, and I am hoping that these resignations are not done in silence.
Sure.
That as these people put in their resignation, it will be published on the executive mansion's website, because we want to see that the process is very transparent. We don't want to see people taking pay for a job they're not doing, because obviously if the president does not appoint anybody in those positions again, it means those people could still be rolling with their salaries. So let more people come on board.
Yeah,
I mean, let them serve their country.
With another zest,
a
whole zest to
and Dennis, which county are you from?
Grand Crew.
Grand Crew. Okay, Dennis from Grand Crew. I wanted the superintendent contesting. When the superintendent contesting, call Dennis. Dennis come and serve your country.
No, I don't want government job.
Dennis can serve your country. But the thing is, it's good. I mean, now we all agree. I mean, as bad as we feel about the silence of the code of conduct, but we all agree that this action will allow people to resign.
Sure.
And it will create job opportunities for other people. Other people got to serve their country. So those who've been on the bench for a long time, those people got to come in.
Sure.
If you are a port manager, there are several positions that the president made mention of that you serve it, you got to resign on or before April 7th. Sure. So that's it right there. People got to resign. And the statement of the U.S. ambassador, Denise, let's look at it. You were there at the U.S. embassy. For our audience, what exactly did the ambassador say, especially regarding the conduct of media institutions, especially ones that are operating out of the shores of Liberia? All right. I'm also told the head of the National Identification Registry, Tia Nangwe. Okay, he also wants to contest in Maryland County, so he has to resign. But that's the U.S. ambassador's statement regarding the conduct of people who operate media institutions across our shores. You were there. What exactly did he say?
So perhaps I don't know whether I could play that.
Yes, you can. Let me get the extra. The extra.
No, it's not supported.
It's not supported.
Okay. Let me
get it on that side.
Let me get this on the side because it is important. Perhaps exactly what he said.
Word for word. Let's hear it from him.
And because I don't know. People have been talking about this, like it's not existing.
Yeah, I
and
mean
that,
there were doubts
yeah,
regarding the statement, and
yeah,
I got a couple of friends who wanted to find out the link and to have
yeah,
to see
and
the statement online. They thought it was again another one, a purported release out of the desire for propaganda, so they wanted to find out, but
and that would have been, something very bad,
it would
that
have been
the American
disastrous.
government that is here, that you would just, come
Write
up,
anything,
write
but then
anything,
and say
but
that, then
then
say
and say they won't say that, which of course it is actually bad for anyone to have thought that. And we hope that, let's put this here.
okay, Denise has it now. Let me get it through here. Oh, it looks weak, but let's see whether it will get through. If not, then we'll use another means. But play it, Denise.
In both our U.S. funded media training and in our messaging, responsible, that with freedom of expression comes an obligation to verify facts and to not inflame passions without first doing due diligence. Today, I'm ashamed to tell you that the most irresponsible controversies to emerge in Liberia's media over the past month have originated from the United States. While responsible, critical observations from the Liberia diaspora can be healthy, some cowardly media personalities and political personalities have intentionally disseminated rumors and misinformation into Liberia's political environment from the safety of their studios and offices in the US. And these people are motivated by disruption and a desire to break down trust in Liberian institutions. They don't care what damage they cause. And when questioned by law enforcement, they do not have evidence to back up their claims. Unfortunately, they take advantage of America's First Amendment rights to spread rumors and stir up trouble in your country, which is despicable.
Okay, so that's the ambassador right there. And in reference to the conduct of some media institutions who operate, I mean, this is a sensitive matter, and I say sensitive because we find ourselves beyond these microphones, and this is a fraternity, but the fraternity calls for the protection of one another. But again, when it comes to issue of national security, issue that borders on the national security of the state, it's something that we cannot compromise, even as members of the fraternity. And so when these issues come about, we try to be very careful how we discuss them. But at the same time, we have to discuss them regardless of individuals that are involved. Now, the American government, through the embassy, has recognized that the conduct of certain media institutions, online platforms, and what have you, the messages that come out of those institutions are to a greater extent based on falsehood, information that could cause chaos in our country, and they believe that it is not right for us, and they see this as people taking advantage of the U.S. laws to ferment trouble through their reportage in Liberia, and they frown on this. Denise, you follow the American people for a long time now. I mean, in terms of covering the U.S. embassy, what are they actually saying? Clear, plain message. Kolokwa, put it there. Let our people understand from everywhere. What's in America talking?
So you want me to speak for America?
Yeah. No, you're not speaking for America. You've covered the U.S. embassy. We've listened to the statement. It's in plain language. But I mean, just to digest it to the people who working, and our people who can understand BB book, what they about, the sure that series, and what's not to understand sure.
I think what we understood from the U.S. ambassador, and like, he was actually trying to introduce the Global Anti-Corruption Coordinator, Richard Nephew, who has come to Liberia with USA Anti-Corruption Task Force, who happens to be Shannon Green, the executive director. And I think within that time, he used a segment to talk about this. And what we understood from what he said is that you got some people in America, you know, who are media people, and he said that the U.S. government over the time, you know, has used resources to train the media. You know, they are invested a lot in the media to come up with, you know, factual information and to be professional. But there are some people in America who now spewing rumors, that is misinformation, things are not true. They are saying it, and they continue to use their offices, perhaps in their office, their home, and all of that to come on the internet. You know, we have podcasts, like people do video on Facebook, they share it, and they come, they have shows. Though he did not mention who are those individuals, but he said that they are using it, and any disruption they are in is to create disruption, that is confusion in the country and mistrust, because definitely, like, people, maybe perhaps investors or other people listening, you know, they realize that there's crisis in the country, or the country is not safe, and all of that. So I think that what he was trying to talk about, and for what I would say, like, sometimes he talk about the disruption and mistrust of Liberia. When you listen, and that, though you say we are fraternity, you know that sometimes we do not condemn our colleagues when such a thing come up, but you realize at times, like what he said, and if you sit on a platform, you know, in the United States, and perhaps you want to be quote unquote very critical of government, and there are things that you say, you know, a trickle reaction from the public. There are people who are suffering. There are people who, you know, perhaps the way in government are conducting some or other policies and things, they are not happy about that. And if you come up on the social media and in the United States and just say things that will, you know, angry people, that will aggravate people, you may not know their reaction. Those people may get in the streets, you know, they may move up to the homes of whosoever, and maybe that will cause chaos and disruption in Liberia. So I think, judging from the statement, from that background, I think that's where it's directed, because you have a conflict all in the country, and you in the United States, you won't be affected.
Not at all.
But people who are in Liberia and the partners, they will be affected, and they have huge investment in Liberia. You know, he talks about the issue about corruption, that corruption has been in Liberia existing since 200 years, meaning from the onset of the establishment of the country, there have been corruption. But now what he's looking at a media institution, because most often we listen to critical talk shows, you know, from the United States, and are critical, people get angry, but nothing can be done about that. You know, they are informing the public. But also it is important that the United States embassy can come up, you know, to checkmate some of these platforms, you know, to know that, yes, indeed, anything you say on the radio, it won't have effect in America. Those who will be affected will be Liberia and Liberians, because when war comes in the country, it will be those who are here and you are on the other side. So I think that some of the issue he was trying to, you know, caution those who are involved in that endeavor to take heed of that.
Okay. And I don't know how many of our media colleagues recognize the fact that as we sit behind these microphones, we are also agents of national security.
Sure.
Whatever that we say must be in direct connection to our desire to ensure that peace exists in our country. Now, the critical nature of an individual does not in any way mean that person should foment violence or preach messages of hate. And in our training as journalists, Denise, we were told that there are issues that when they border on national security, we are not to discuss on our platforms, regardless of what institution or which institution we report for. You are not to discuss things that border on national security on your platform. And the reason we were told that is because we as agents of change, agents of swaying opinions, we have a gift, a training that pushes people to believe us whenever we say something. So we need to be very careful with what we say, because the thing is, people believe that once you are out of Liberia, you have that high degree of sophistication. So any information that you put out there to the public is true. So they do not doubt it, and they act based on the information that you provide to them. People may have doubts about you and myself now. That they may not have doubt about somebody who just sits in his room, in a little closet in his room, and starts to put out information based on the platform provided by social media.
Sure.
So these are the things now. I mean, and this thing cannot be guided. The reason I say it cannot be guided is that you cannot control an individual's social media page.
Yeah.
All right. And once that person is fortunate to have a good following, that person sways the opinion of the public. Now, our appeal now will go to those people. Our appeal is that, look, you are Liberians in the first place before you even became a part of a political party, or maybe you started supporting an individual. So the overarching objective of whatever you do in this life, whether in Liberia, out of Liberia, in the United States, is to ensure that your country is peaceful. You may not be here, but you have relatives that are here. You have friends that are here. Whatever goes on in this country, those people will be affected. You may not be affected, but they will be affected. If you love your country so much, you can criticize. Look, I am a big fan of criticism. In fact, I love to criticize people. But you must always ensure that your criticism is not one that is meant to tear your country down. It's not one that is meant to destroy your country. It's not one that is meant to foment violence. So, I mean, the U.S. stands on this. Maybe it will send a call, a rallying call to our brothers and sisters who are in the States, who have platforms, to begin to look in the positive direction. I'm not saying you can't criticize.
And Fidel, not cutting you off,
Go
but
ahead.
you know, the U.S. ambassador talk about the issue of training of the media, and I will be blunt about this, right? You've noticed that most of those platforms that they run, perhaps on the social media, are not being run by quote unquote trained journalists.
Not at all.
Is this problem that we face with political commentators? You have anybody can just jump behind the microphone and call themselves a media person, journalist, and just run with a talk show. Because if you have a media personnel, we have ethics. I don't care how critical you might be at times. Your ethics will, guide you and say, oh, I'm going the wrong way, so I need to checkmate myself. But if we continue to have people who just come up and start their own shows, open radio stations, and they sit on the platform, they are not journalists. Sometimes the journalists themselves have problem with that. And I think as it relates to that as well, the PUL has a whole lot, sometimes they are challenged, but there's a lot to be played as it relates to controlling sometimes some of the content, some of the platforms, and to advise, in terms of that. So there's a need to also do that as well. And it's important for our country. And, I was kind of a bit surprised when I heard that people were, disputing or, challenging that it wasn't from the U.S. embassy. So I can tell you, Fidel, if that statement would have, said, this thing, the government is doing that, I tell you,
I believed it.
by this time, people running with that statement, it shouldn't be always about the government. We should be patriotic. This is about the country. It is not because it's a bit like favoring government. So those on the opposition will see that as being wrong. They will see that as not being true. So then tomorrow you are opting to become a president or perhaps leader or to take a state power. If you cannot, ensure that there's peace, what will you rule or what will you lead? Because you don't have a Liberia to lead. If, for instance, anybody sit on a platform and disrupt the peace,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you see, again, that's the difficult job at hand right now, Denise. The job to ensure that all parties, from opposition or from the ruling party, they are able to recognize that this is about Liberia. This is not about individuals. This is about us as a country, as a people, being able to recognize the fact that we need to live in peaceful coexistence, and regardless of how we are dissatisfied with the conduct of one another, we still have to live in peaceful coexistence. And what makes it difficult for the Press Union of Liberia is that she does not have the capacity to regulate. In fact, the PUL is not a regulatory body, by the way. All right, it's just intended to keep the conduct of members in check. Or all right, so we have to ensure as members, those who sit behind the microphones, to exercise that degree of patriotism and nationalism in all that we do. I mean, in all that we say, so that even though we have our political interest, I mean, those who are political commentators and what have you, you may have your political interest, but you must first recognize that Liberia is the one that you're fronting for, and that whatever you do, whatever you say, must be to ensure that Liberia is peaceful. Now, I understand people may have had doubts about the press statement to them. It's more like deeply domestic, but America has invested a lot in this country, and they will not allow their investments to go. They are putting money into different civil society groups. They are putting money in government institutions. So they do not want these monies to their taxpayers' monies to just go in a breeze like that. So they will have a say in our affairs, and this is just one of them. Okay, let's now run to the lines on our two issues: the president's executive order 117 and the U.S. ambassador's statement regarding the conduct of media institutions operating across the world. I mean, and how their actions will have effect on Liberia. 0555 105 100 and 0777 105 100. Those are the numbers to call this morning. And let's hear you right here on the Morning Breeze with me, Fidel Sadie and Denise Nipson. Those are the points to call. And like we said, more people got to resign. If you know you in position,
sure,
and you contesting, you must resign on or before
April 7.
April 7. That one no go count for a 0555 105 100 0777 105 100. Let's take this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Lawrence. No God for yourself, and I join you from my Pepperland Road resident. Okay, let me commend the president for being to the point, and at least that will help to also go against corruption in our country. Because you can be a public servant, special lady, government official, then you want to contest occupying two positions almost at the same time. It would be wrong. So I want to commend the president for that bold steps. And then also it comes to you guys in the media, some of you guys in the media that are pushing some messages of hate. And you saw what happened in Rwanda. This is the same thing the ambassador tried to enforce on Liberia, because 14 years of devastations in this country, nothing we have achieved but just backwardness. Today we're still on Rule 1847 country. So I think that message is going to you guys. You guys must disabuse the mind of some of you that are in the media, because we look up to you guys as agent of change and mirror of society.
Okay, thank you.
Most of you.
Thank you, my brother. You've made a point. Thank you very much. Let's take another person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Sis Denise. David again on the line. Call from Benson Street. I think if the president really meant this, he will have to appoint an ombudsman. But Fidel and Sis Denise, I think the two of you follow this government closely for the past 5 years. Then we can call on your show. Does this government, this president, really mean this? Does these people respect the rule of law? Does these people abide by laws that are on the book? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Another person. Let's take another person. 0555 105 100 0777 105 100. The president has issued Executive Order 117, mandating those appointed officials who are opting to contest for different elected posts in the country to resign on or before April 7. 2023. Like the caller stated, of course, this thing about ombudsman, it would have been critical to the implementation of the code of conduct. That was not done. Remember, the first individuals that were appointed at ombudsman, they did not meet their requirement. The president did not do any appointment again, and that's how the whole code of conduct thing it was left in the breeze. I mean, so we in the press now got to serve our ombudsman now to see whether the people doing what they're doing or they're not doing it. I mean, because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that that is done. The president's
100%.
mandate is followed to the letter.
Yeah.
And he himself, we want to see publication of those who've resigned. If somebody resigned, they be placed on the executive mansion website, I mean, in their Facebook page to see this person has resigned. We
Yeah.
will follow that up to the letter. And so as we move to April 7th, we expect to see a
Resignation.
letting of resignations across government,
Yeah.
especially for those who are contesting. Some of them men want to look at their lucrative job.
Let me
Let
forget
me,
anything.
let me look at it. I get chances of winning. I think I get chances of winning. Let me just continue my job. Because the good thing is, if and this is what we have to be very careful. And I don't know, but if the president say resign, and maybe you did something in a backroom resignation, you leave the post. I know laws. I mean, there are loopholes. Once those loopholes are there, people exploit them because of political considerations. Now, if Denise is LPRC managing director, for example, and she resigns on or before April 7th, and that post is not occupied, somebody just get there in acting capacity. Denise goes to election. Denise is defeated. Then after the elections, they come back again and appoint Denise.
Was it in the case of Polita Weir?
I think that was the case. Good.
Yeah,
That was
Polita.
the case. What does that say? I mean, does that in any way strengthen our governance? I mean, does it depict a
It
spirit
will
of
send
good
the person
governance?
to another area if you want them to remain government.
I mean, but does it depict the spirit of good governance? I mean, let's look at it now.
No.
I mean, but someone will look at it like this, Dennis. And why you wanted the person to do that for them to resign?
Yeah.
What the reason you wanted them to resign? Because you wanted them to have influence. Why they in that position, right?
Sure.
And the person resigned. They went through the election. They were beaten. So what makes the person unfit to come back to serve in that same position? What makes that person unfit?
Not that they are unfit,
Mhm.
right? From how I look at things.
Mhm.
Not that they are unfit,
Mhm.
but the period in which you told a person to resign,
Mhm.
this is country work,
Mhm.
government work.
Yeah.
Work must go on.
Exactly.
Meaning that you have to appoint someone within that position.
Mhm.
You are not appointing a person as acting, right?
Mhm.
You have to
Full-
appoint them to
full-fledged.
take on that job.
Mhm.
Meaning that someone will already be occupying that position.
Mhm.
So when a person doesn't win the election,
Mhm.
they will come back. They cannot come back to their position.
Mhm.
They will have to seek perhaps another job because you have someone who already occupying the position.
Mhm.
If no one is there, perhaps that's the only person in the country you want
But
to see.
the Constitution also gives the president the right to appoint the person in acting capacity. What happens then? The person is appointed in an acting capacity.
Well, that's another thing.
Mm.
If the ministry or perhaps as per the president description or
Mhm.
description that the person can better serve in that position
Mhm.
and he wants that person to serve in that capacity, then
Mhm.
be it.
So in this case now, it will depend on whether the president will be re-elected. So if the president is re-elected, it means even though Denise resigned,
Yeah.
because she wanted to contest, but they beat her in the election, and I think she's still qualified to serve in that
And she
position,
was performing
and she
right.
was performing. So let me bring her back. The men who acting are carrying back to a position. I mean, would that be a good governance practice? That's the question. Would that be a good governance practice? Because I see that happening, Denise.
Yeah.
I see that happening. That my man, you know what? The election come here, we gotta start showing signs of us doing good things, that will lead to our re-election. Because the way we look at it, we not do it, and
Not with him now.
yeah, I mean that could be, so all those kind of things start coming. But let's take more calls. 07777 105 100 055 are the numbers to call this morning, and let's hear you on this issue of the conduct of media institution, as well as the president's executive order number 117.
117. The
Some-
president has issued
Yeah.
117.
Executive order. So that number that why I mean that okay. So when he issued the next executive order, I thought that why I mean because the way you declare, I thought that why I mean. But yeah, so like we say, like bro, commenting in worry now. I don't know whether they in worry or I mean Yeah, because Denise, when you look at it technically, the hard decision. But if you know you will win, if you know in yourself, go that you will win, and you will resign with ease.
Yeah, you know, you sound like a guy that rode with a taxi driver, and he was talking about the same thing. He said, so when the people resign, and so how are they going to live? Where they'll get money from? So I was like, someone like, but you have saved enough, so you trust yourself.
Even if you save enough, the time your mom born you, they born your money. Then the first question you must ask is, when they born you money, it means you have to make money again in order to survive. And I'm not sure those people are that broke to the extent where, I mean, after a few months they cannot take care of themselves. I'm not sure of that. The issue here is whether they will be willing to resign, the kind of willingness to resign.
I don't understand if your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough.
The other dream the the dream where you leave your straight 2K or 2K far, and you know, to go and contest, and you know, I mean, it's a risky venture. Let's take more calls, Dennis. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Fidel.
Good morning, my brother.
I think I got caught up, right? Because our speech and I just saw this too. Okay, so to conclude on this issue of the president, I think the president fight against corruption continue, because you cannot occupy two positions, especially appointees. So I think there's both steps of the president to say step down if you want to contest. I think that's also fight against corruption, and you guys in the media need to flag this to make them the only thing that the president fight against corruption still continue. Although corruption is in the government, but I think this both steps of the president is commendable, and then you guys that's in the social media especially need to make this clear that at least the president is fighting corruptions, and then he must be commended. And we pray that the executive order 117 should be effective and let it take hold, and in so doing, we believe that corruption will be minimized. And then, but my thing to you guys again, I think Ambassador did said, we need to look into that social, especially the print media, electronic media, need to understand that what you say is what people look at, and people take it and believe it. So it also comes to you, because some of you guys that you're not just abuse the mouth, some of you guys are sit behind the microphone and scare out violence and then deceptions. Those things are wrong. 14 years in this country, like I said, we have not achieved nothing but backwards. So I pray that you guys, especially ABC, I believe you guys are with there with the truth. Although I disagree with you this morning on category issues, but we disagree to agree, and that's the best way of demon crisis. So I say thank you.
No, before you go,
that.
Before you go, I was just asking Denise, and I will ask you the same question. Is it a good governance practice that an official resigned, right? Someone is acting in his capacity, and that person goes to election, loses the elections, and comes back and get reappointed by the president? Is that a good governance practice?
I think it's in the purview of the president. Yeah, that's in the purview of the president, because like you said, he appoints and then also come again, and then maybe.
No, I'm asking what is a good governance practice.
I mean, that is not good governance. Once you have been coming up to say you want to resign, I think other people are there, well-meaning Liberia, and there to serve. So I don't think that's a good governance. That is not good governance. I look at it too. So thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Because the thing is, the president has a lot of discretionary powers, but it's not that those discretionary powers cannot be questioned. There are, I mean, when people give you responsibility, and I'm saying when you get it right to do this, it mean all the time the right that they give you when you do something, it mean it right. I mean, yeah. So that's it. The president has a discretionary power, but that discretionary power can also be criticized and what have you. If I were facing someone from the president's office right now, one of the first questions I would ask is what stops the president from appointing the ombudsman? Because that was the key to ensuring that the code of conduct went ahead too. But as we've seen,
perhaps we need to have the presidential press on our platform.
Yeah. So we need to get to him and I mean talk some president issue. I think we will establish contact with him to talk some president issue in the coming few days. All right. But keep your calls coming to 0777 105 100 0555 10500. Then you can recognize those watching this.
0777 105 100 as well.
Mhm.
Okay, let me.
These people, I mean, those who watch us on social media are, I mean, they are our messengers. All right, they serve as ambassadors for us. They share our videos. I mean, they comment on some of those things that we talk about, and we want to see criticisms from you as well. I mean, criticize us about our content, criticize us about the image that we put out there. I mean, those, I mean, real criticism, we want to see them because we want to improve on what we do here.
Okay.
We don't want to stay. Okay, let's hear you, Denise.
Yeah, so we have our colleague Obed Jiba says, great show. Okay, thanks, Obed. That is Meto Nuva. He says, if the UL students are wrong and grade is wrong, so who's right? Okay, that's a question. Thomas Mampu Kolenke says, I'm falling from Upper Carwell.
I mean, we're in America.
My dear friend and brother Fidel City. They always like to do that.
Yeah, but we're
George
in
Lamadine
America.
says, good morning, Fidel and Dennis Nipson, falling from headquarters of Citizens Action Movement District 6. Steve Wilson says, why can the same laws happen to certain lawmakers who wants to run for elected position too? Okay.
So that, but it's seeking re-election, that's why we apply to it.
It says Andy B. Johnson says port manager of Maryland County, Mr. William Wallace, is also running. Okay, the people have started policing the people. Shadrach A. Maxwell Senior says, great guys. Okay, Jig Farm Arrow Tiba Jr. says, good morning, following from the office of the Veteran Bureau of Liberia. Randall P. Jackson said, great show, guys. Keep it up. Okay, thanks for following. Share the video. Invite others to watch the Money Breeze here on ABC Radio 105.1. Yeah, Fidel.
Yeah. Okay, so those are your comments, and we want you to we've got 5 minutes to go. Was it 5 minutes?
Yeah.
5 minutes to
Zia
go.
Yama Gabo says, good morning. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. The University of Liberia is a public center. Let's be careful. Okay, that's his comment. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's great. That's great. 5 minutes to go. Denise, tomorrow is Friday, and we'll be here, of course. And we know. And interestingly, the partnership. Somebody was telling me you and Denise been knowing each other before, and I'm like, yeah, I know that. He said, I see why used to each other soon, because I mean, normally it takes time for people to gel. I mean, you and I know this business is such that for you to get your vibe, you must be with somebody who you vibe with. You know, the social thing, a vibe. Yeah. So if you and the person do not vibe, the combination would be a bit shaky. But the person has recognized, he's an old radio person, and he has recognized how the partnership has gelled so quickly, and he was like, yeah. And I always knew each other, because for two strange people to just sit down on the radio and you have that chemistry like that so quickly is difficult. I said, well, that's it right there. But then it's
and that's a great one, and it's also good to share platform with you. That's a good thing. And at times not many other guys would like to do that. Some don't want to sit with a female on a platform. They say, oh, well, I'm going to sit with female. No, I don't want female. But I think that's good. That's one example of a general person is someone who that is willing to work with people. So I like to say thanks. And that's because we are on a radio.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing, and we are here to ensure that ABC Radio achieve its objective in terms of maintaining peace and striving for harmony in our country.
Exactly, and that's what we are opting to do. We will do, and we will continue to do, regardless of. I mean, we don't intend to hide anything here. Yeah, we'll be very transparent. We will do our job, even if officials of government or people in opposition, if we cause trouble, we'll wheel you out, and we okay, let's just sell you to the public. We'll sell you to the public.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love what we do, and that's why we get up early in the morning and we come here and do our job. So we ask for your continuous support. This cannot happen void of you, the public, being a part of this. And so we count on you every now and then. If there are pieces of information that you have, I mean, our numbers are available. Text us. We'll do a follow up to those pieces of information you provide to us for us to do our job as well. We don't intend to come here and say just anything about anybody.
No.
We want to have facts in our hands. So again, Denise, we have to go prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah, and as we are working on a little bit, funny note, I like to say the president says people should elected officials, right? I mean, appointed officials who wanting to seek electable position should resign on or before April 7, which happens to be my birthday.
Your birthday.
So my birthday is an important,
important day in Liberia now.
Liberia.
In our political process. Denise's birthday is a very important day. Either you resign on Denise's birthday or before Denise's birthday, which is April 7th. Folks,
Good Friday.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And it has been a pleasure being here serving you, the Liberian people. As always, this platform is here to contribute to the growth of Liberia. And whichever way we can do it, we are very open to doing that. And by the way, on a commercial note, you can bring your business,
Sure.
all right? We can sell your services right on this platform.
Yeah.
And for little or nothing. I mean, just come. Let's talk business and let's get
business.
your goods
We are
and
open to
services off
business.
your shelf. Until then, do have yourselves a wonderful Thursday in Liberia. Bye-bye.